Bikers and car enthusiasts gathered south of Lloydminster over the weekend as they honored a local man who lost his life to cancer. Devin Seguin passed away last year, and now his family is turning the tragedy into triumph as the first memorial ride in his name raises money for local families affected by cancer. One by one, bikes, cars, and trucks were driven onto the Seguin acreage just south of Lloydminster. This was the starting point of the 4-hour ride dedicated to Devin Seguin.
There were people coming from everywhere, the woodworks. It's surprising how many people knew of him from the different clubs that no clubs, but just the different things he was involved with.
Devin's father, Eugene, remembers his son fondly as a lover of bikes and cars before he passed away at the age of 23.
Devin woke up with a stomach ache and found out he had a tumor in his stomach, and within 5 weeks he passed from that tumor.
Now the family has turned their loss into something positive as they're using the ride to raise money for the Laurie Craven Memorial, helping local families affected by cancer, something Devin was a supporter of.
I mean, we've had people from Calgary to Macklin to all over the place message us, even Ontario, saying like that he used to talk to them on the internet. Like, he's been a very busy guy.
It's amazing that this family can bring together so many people for such a great cause.
As for Devin's father, he plans to keep the ride going every year, as it's what his son would have wanted.
It's devastating, but I had 23 years with my son. A lot of people don't have that opportunity, and we have no regrets. Everything has been positive, and we're going to keep making it positive from here on.
And at the end of the weekend, the ride raised more than $19,000, all to be donated to the Laurie Craven Memorial Fund in Devin's name. Muslims around the world are fasting as the holy month of Ramadan officially began yesterday. Shoppers in the West Bank and Gaza crowded markets to buy food ahead of the dinner that breaks the Ramadan fast at sundown. Ramadan isn't only meant to practice fasting, but a local Muslim group says it's a time of reflection and worship, being charitable and remembering the hardships of others.
The Ramadan is a refresher course, or a training for physically and spiritually, where when you fast, you don't eat, you don't drink, you don't smoke, and you avoid all kind of evils of your life.
Ramadan will end on July 20th. It starts right before the sun rises and ends after the sun sets. The Lloydminster Cultural and Science Center is inviting local residents to get their hands on nature as they introduce a new exhibit teaching the public about biodiversity. The fully interactive exhibit is on loan from the Royal Ontario Museum for the next month. Manager Shawna Dewyer says there are plenty of things for families to check out.
They have questions, activities, word scrambles, things like that, so that people can engage more thoroughly with the exhibits and actually learn something from them, take something away from them.
Not only a chance for kids to get up close and personal with plants and insects, but the Wire says it also teaches an important lesson about our role in the environment.
Biodiversity is important so that we can help our environment and continue to teach younger generations about what is going on so that they can continue to help.
The exhibit in the border city is until August 17th. It's time again for Retrospect, this week from the archives. Brian Hardy brings us a report on the opening of a local interpretive center with a past. As well, we meet Alice Grupner, who has the distinction of being the first person born in the border city.
This week in 2003, we're introduced to the original border city-born citizen.
With the help of her granddaughter Denise, the first baby born in Lloydminster gave some recollections of her past.
99. You're 99, that's right.
Alice Miriam Grupner will celebrate her centennial on August 27th. Mrs. Grupner has many memories of her life in the border city. The house belonging to her parents, William and Alice Rendell, was the first house built of lumber in the Bar Colonist settlement. The home served as the first post office, a nursing station, and a police station. Mrs. Grupner has lived in Summerland, British Columbia since 1982 and is not able to make it back for the centennial celebrations. She has a special message for all residents.
Happy birthday to Lloydminster.
Linda Wilcox, NewsHour.
It's early July 1992 and a rich past is revealed to the public.
200-year-old history is returning to life southeast of Elk Point. Nestled along the banks of the North Saskatchewan is a $1.4 million interpretive center that offers a look back to Fort George and Buckingham House. The center is dedicated not only to native culture but also the archaeological remains left behind by the fur trading era of the late 1700s. There's a wealth of information for history buffs to explore with both traditional and modern methods of remembering life 200 years ago. Outside, the center offers paths back in time through the historical sites with stops at both Fort George and Buckingham House. Information centers along the way provide details of the archaeological expeditions that unearthed the two sites in recent years and eventually led to the creation of the Interpretive Center. Michael Higgins, NewsHour.
Join us next time when David Suzuki visits Meadow Lake in Retrospect, this week from the archives.